Hello, Lucy here, and today I want to share with you everything I've learnt over the past 8 years putting on my own open studio events and being part of group studio events as well. There is a number of things that I found are really important to prioritize and to focus on to make these a real success for you and to grow your base of followers, buyers, and collectors long term. So I'm going to go through these key 3 areas during this video and share a few insights on what I have found putting on both my own open studios on a random Saturday, being part of group open studio events, but also experience I've had from putting on my own exhibitions. So I've hired my own spaces, put on my own shows for a night, and had real success with those. So I'm going to share some key things today that I know you will find useful and that I highly recommend you focusing on for your next event. Okay, so I've created a little guide that I'm going to make available for you in the comments below. You can download this to have as a little resource for whenever you are carrying out your next event and need a little bit of a checklist and reminder of the key things that are really going to help you put on a really successful art event that will help you grow your business. So an open studio is more about just opening your doors. This is about building connection, creating confidence, and building momentum. So think about this as not just an opportunity for on the day sales, which is obviously really important, but also the ability to create connections that may last a long time with certain people buying from you over and over again, which is what makes a really successful business. So whether you're part of a group event, you might be a part of a open studios in your region, which is a really common thing to happen in art communities around the world, or you might just decide to run your own open studio. But the results of this event is going to reflect the effort you put in and the time you put in to really maximize the benefit of having people come through and seeing your work and meeting you. Because remember, people don't just buy art, they buy the artist, they buy your story, they buy the vibe they get from you. So this is an amazing opportunity if you've not had an opportunity to be in a gallery, or even if you're in the gallery and you don't necessarily get to meet the buyers. This is a chance for you and your art to go hand in hand and for you to make a real impact. So there's 3 key areas to focus on, and these will give you the best chance of success if you really focus on these. So number 1, I put at the top of the list, is marketing. Okay, so if people don't know about an event, doesn't matter how well you paint, how well you put it on, make your studio look beautiful. If people don't know about it, it's going to be very hard for you to see results. So I just really want to emphasize that it's important to take ownership of this. And I know this is a hard one for artists and it feels tricky, but I promise you, from someone who used to hate sales and marketing myself, I've worked really hard and I'm still learning, still will continue to learn, but I've worked really hard on understanding all the things I need to be learning, implementing, and growing to make my business work. And I get better and better at this year on year, and it was a real weak point for me. So I think if you're someone who's like, I hate marketing, you're not alone. This is not an uncommon feeling for artists. But the more you understand it, the more you practice it, the easier it gets. So take ownership. And what I mean by that is if you're in a group show, please don't assume that the organizers are just going to do all your marketing and that's going to be a success. You need to still take ownership of your marketing to make sure people are coming to your spot on the map. So if there's an open studio with 100 artists, you want to make sure people turn up to your studio. So whether it's on your own or in a group, please know that this is really important either way. So some key points here. I highly recommend you create your own event invitation on Facebook. Facebook is where the majority of people live when it comes to social media. And you can personally invite every single person in your own network using a Facebook invite. So this is very, very important for any event you do. I highly recommend you create Facebook invitation. This means that also when people accept or say they're interested, they're going to get notifications from you if you post something in it specifically about the event, and they'll get a reminder. So a lot of people go, oh yeah, I'll go to that, I'll go to that, and they don't remember it. So this is a really good way for people to say they're interested by clicking interested, but then get a reminder via Facebook, which is really handy. Secondly, tell everyone you know repeatedly. So tell everyone in person, I'm doing an Open Studios event in 3 months. Put it in your diary. It's going to be amazing. Put it in an email to everyone you know. All your subscribers, if you don't have subscribers, put it to everyone you know in your work circles, in your family circles, friendship circles. Don't assume one mention is enough. We need to talk about things over and over and over again for any kind of event, whether it's a launch of a collection or an open studio. We need to talk about it over and over again to make sales. And obviously, social media is important too. I think make sure you start promoting it at least 1 month out, really and really intentionally and really regularly. So 2 to 3 times a week, posting on social media about the event is what you want to be considering. You can share behind the scenes, prep, works in progress, you setting up your studio, what they can expect, so that it creates anticipation. And focus promoting your event in Facebook communities. I always talk about Facebook communities because it's free marketing to your local community. People want to support local. So your local communities outside of your friends and family are the next obvious step to expand the awareness of what you're doing. So I have had huge success posting in Facebook communities in the years, both for my open studio events and just generally about me. I've sold thousands and thousands of dollars of work just by putting up a free post introducing myself or the event I'm having and inviting people warmly to my home, or to my studio. So this is scary, but my goodness, if you can be bold, it is very powerful. You can invite local shops, galleries, or businesses you admire or would like to be a part of. So be bold. If you've got a gallery you're lining up and you're going to do a really great open studio, why not send them a message going, look, I think it will be a great fit. I appreciate you don't take on just anyone, but I am having an open studio, and if you'd like to come along and see my work, please come along. These are opportunities to be brave. They might not come. I did my first exhibition when no one even knew I painted. It's a photo of me in that up there. This is in 2017, and I invited so many random galleries and shops, and well, not so many. It was a few that I really admired and thought would be potential fit, and they came. They came along, and I don't know that, and it was great to have a conversation with them. And some were actually just clothing brands that I really admired. They didn't turn up, but I felt like there was connection with the paint, the art I created and the clothes I created, and I was just like, oh, I'll just put it out there and see what happens. And did anything specific come out of that so far as collaborations? Not really, but I sell a lot of artwork with or without them. So it's just a taking a chance essentially. Don't rely on organizers to fill your space, is what, like I said before. Warm audiences will convert best. The people who know you, your local community, are going to convert best. They're going to be the most likely chances you have to make sales. So make sure you are in charge of filling your space and getting lots of people along. Okay, so secondly, on the day, we want to create an experience. So this is the stuff everyone will kind of naturally go towards focusing on, which is great. And it's important, obviously. We want the people who turn up from all our marketing efforts to have an amazing experience with you. So to summarize the key things I always consider, make sure you have really clear offers of what you have available. So if you've got prints, originals, you might have gifts, you might have a variety of different things you've created. But make sure they're there. If you're going to talk to people, I actually have these things and those things, but they're not there. What can people do? How can they buy them? It's hard. You want to take the opportunity on the day. And there's a balance between getting too much stock. I know that from experience. You don't want to have so many things that you don't end up selling, but have enough that you've got a good range, a good sample, and then you can take orders from there. But make sure they're beautifully presented and ready well in advance so you're ready to go. Create an inviting space. Obvious, I know, but really consider simple decor. I would always go and make the point of bringing some of the house plants I had into the studio and making it feel really warm and cozy. So just really making it feel clean, cleaning up excess paint I might have dropped. Maybe putting a few extra little a bookcase from inside and putting a few extra prints up there. Whatever might make your space feel extra special and inviting. And signage, if you need some signage on the front. When I've done my own open studios without a wider event, I just put like a sandwich board open art studio out the front of my house. So think about those things. Clear pricing. Make sure you know your prices and display them confidently. Don't and ah on the day. And I'm a firm believer I'm not letting people really push you down. You might have an opportunity where you have a painting you might sell for $1,000 and they're on the line, and you might say, hey, look, if you'd like to take this day, I'll give you 10% off. There might be scenarios like that, but I would really recommend not just going, oh, okay, yeah, you can have it for this with everything, because some artists will do that, and it shows a lack of confidence in what you do. Most people will happily pay the price that you've written there if they truly believe and feel the confidence you convey in your work. Marketing materials, have things that people can take. So I create a little A6 marketing card with my little blurb about me, all the ways people can find me, and a little piece of art in the back. So it's kind of people feel like they've taken away something special. And some people just need time to decide. So they will have to go away, and you'll be front of mind if that's on their kitchen bench. So it's good to have things like that ready. Could you do a live demo? So one thing with this, if you do some live painting or whatever, which I found really good at specifically, I've done a couple of markets and that really brings people in to talk to you. If you do something like this, it's great, but don't let it take away from your effort or focus on interacting with people. People might come in, but don't get so into your work that you're avoiding them, because you're going to miss sales opportunities like that. And just connection opportunities, which leads to sales. Connect, talk, smile, be proud, and this sounds silly perhaps, but practice conversations beforehand so you lead with positivity. Belief is contagious. So what I mean by this is, before any event, I just naturally start having conversations in my head, and I feel like this is part of both preparation to have these conversations, but also manifestation. I'm thinking about the positive conversations I'm having about my art and how I'll describe it, and the process I went through, and the feelings, and I'll practice talking about it with confidence and positivity, because I know those things lead to people really connecting with you, what you've done, and leading to sales. So give that a go too if that's not something you've done before. So finally, turn the day into long-term connection. So the goal isn't just about one-day sales. The goal is ongoing relationships. So every time someone's in front of your art, you want to try and make the most of being connected with that person and finding a way to stay in touch. Because I have some buyers who bought from me 7, 8, 9 times. They buy pretty much most things I put out there. So having those repeat buyers is what creates a business. So encouraging visitors to follow your latest work on social media as a natural parting note is really good. So you might have had a nice conversation. They're like, all right, we're heading off now. And you might say, here, just take my card. Lovely to meet you. And hey, I've got some new work that I'm creating soon. Make sure you give me a follow on social media and you'll get to see it. So it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel salesy. It's, hey, let's stay in touch and I'd love to share more with you. You can run a simple giveaway for email signups. This is what I did at my last open studio. This is the last one I did, was a group open studio when my baby was a month old. This is a photo of me. That's my little baby in the carrier talking to someone buying a print. I did it with a friend, and was the only way I could have possibly done it, because I was in and out of the house, obviously resting and feeding and everything. A bit crazy, but I'd signed up for it before I had the baby, and I just decided to do it anyway. And it was really fun. Everyone was really lovely, and it was really successful aside from that. But I ran on this particular event, I had a list ready for people to put their email address so I can stay in touch with them. And there was a giveaway. Anyone who put their name down could win a $100 voucher to spend on my art. So that was great. I got something like 60 or 70 email addresses from that. And from that, I sent the winner, but I also sent a little note to everyone who gave me the email addresses, that they could get 15, I think it was 15% off anything on my store for that week as a thank you for coming along and entering the competition. So that can convert some maybes into buyers as a last chance. So something to consider there. But I highly recommend, no matter what you do, having a way for people to follow you on social media and ideally give you their email addresses, because that's the most powerful way to stay in touch. So to summarize, putting in this effort to really maximize an open studio on the day and convert it to long-term connection is so, so worth it. So you're already putting yourself out there. a lot of these activities may seem scary, but you're already doing scary stuff by just saying you're going to be a part of an open studio. So you may as well do it well. So by going through these key three things, I promise you, if you cover these pretty well, you're going to have a good day and a successful day, and you're going to learn a lot and you're going to get a lot out of it. And so I really, really encourage anyone doing this year to think about some of these things. You might do a lot of these, but a couple you might just try. And I would love to hear if some of these things have inspired you and whether you've done it before. Maybe you have some tips around what you have done in your own open studio events that we'd love to hear in the comments. Otherwise, let me know if you're going to try one of these because I always love to hear what resonates. But thank you so much for listening. I hope you love this. Keep following along because, as I say, always I put these free trainings, insights out there all the time. I'm a huge, huge advocate for sharing everything I know, everything I'm learning with my own art business building journey. And I just want to help as many other artists as I possibly can because it's not easy. It's not clear. There's no clear roadmap. And I know these things help. All right. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.